All right, so again, good morning. Thank you all for joining this week's call. This week's call is going to be fairly short. Unfortunately, I do not have a lot of great updates for you all. So getting right into it, the wave is still offline. Our messaging on that has been updated on single sign-on for those of you who have seen it. I wish I could give you guys a ETA. I know last call I said that we were hoping that it would be up at the latest on Monday, so this past Monday. But we're still needing to work out some last minute issues that are popping up with the maintenance that we're doing on the wave. And as soon as I can talk more about what those updates are and how that'll change, if there will be any changes in the experience getting to the wave, I will speak to that. But again, we're still making required maintenance to the wave. In terms of getting your data, we are still accepting any adds, changes, and deletes that your student information system may be sending to our state's student information system. For many of you, many of the questions that we've been asked are related to whether or not the wave itself is offline or if it's just the website. And it is just the website that is offline. That is what we are making those required updates to. So the back end of things, we're still, making requests for data. So we're still getting your enrollments. We are still monitoring that information as it's coming through. The only thing is that the information that you are normally able to see on the website, that is the portion that is down. So we will still be reaching out to you all if we're noticing that your student information system is no longer sending data, and et cetera, et cetera. So I know it is probably very frustrating to not be able to get onto the website to review all of your ownership issues or your STN conflicts and anything else that you may be using the wave for. Please know that we are working very hard to try and get this rolled out as quickly as we can so that in the future the wave will not have to go offline again. So with that, again, as I said last week, we've worked with the accreditation office, and the extension for certifying your transfers is going to continue. That extension will match the amount of time that the wave has been offline. So right now, looking at about almost about 2 weeks here of an extension in terms of, 15 days of an extension for your transfers. So going forward with that, your direct certification students, we've been asked a few times, and I also apologize for the silence from our office in terms of what's going on with your direct certification students. We are still looking into how we can securely exchange that information with you all. And so that is the reason why we haven't necessarily said anything about whether or not we can provide you with that list through, say, an email. So we want to make sure that we're properly exchanging that information with you all if the wave continues to be down. So just bear with us again on that. I again understand the frustration with not being able to close out, say, your lunch rooms for the previous month going forward. And so as soon as we get an update, we will reach out in all the avenues that we can, either through SSO, the homepage, or through our Microsoft Teams channel, or even just sending out a large listserv email to all superintendents to get an idea about what's going on and how the amount of time that the wave has been down will affect you in terms of reporting, and so on and so forth. Because if you do have access or have been looking at our reporting requirements calendar, you'll see that there are some reports in the wave that are coming up. So we'll make sure to get you all of that information as soon as we can, as soon as, there's not going to be an update from us in a couple of hours. So we're wanting to make sure that we have everything locked down before we, as an office, share out how all of these changes are going to affect you going forward. So last update, in terms of the wave, we have been getting phone calls and emails about what's going on with EdPlan in terms of students being inactivated. So to not necessarily speak onto what happened, our directive from this special education office for those students is that you can reactivate records for students that are being instructed. And if there is an issue, say with their enrollment status, when the wave is back online, you can continue to correct this issue so that you're not seeing any issues with information or files that are in EdPlan. So you can reactivate your students that have been deactivated for one reason or another. If that's because they have issues with their enrollment, say we are still working out getting your enrollment, there are still 11 districts that are not sending school year 2021 data. Some districts we know what's going on, some we are still reaching out to figure out what's going on. And so there are a lot of moving parts with what's going on with EdPlan, but again, you can reactivate records for students that you know are physically or virtually present and being instructed in your school district. Last update that does not have a bullet point here, for those of you who were part of our call last week, I mentioned that there would be a enrollment decision tree posted on our website. I don't have that available to show to you all right now, but it will be posted later on today. For those of you that are able to access TeleEdge, at 3:30, there will be a demonstration from Eric Friend and a few others in the agency, Ryan Piper from Accreditation and Tiffany Neal. And they will be going over some guidance and updates about 2021 information. Eric will be going through the decision tree that I mentioned. And that decision tree, once it's posted and you have access to it, will detail about 7 different enrollment scenarios and how to code your calendars and how to enroll your students, et cetera, et cetera. So it should complement some of the documents that we have. And hopefully this will be a little bit easier and you can pass this along to your enrollment office, secretaries, or whoever is enrolling students. So with that, that ends my updates. I'm going to go ahead and mention that that decision tree that I mentioned will be uploaded to the student information documents and guides section of our website. And if you do have any further questions, feel free to email us at studentdatainfo@sd.ok.gov. You can also call if you'd like, and we'll get back to you as well. But just know we may be a little backed up with answering other questions from other school districts. You can also use our Microsoft Teams channel to reach out to us as well for things that may not warrant, say, an email if you just have a quick question. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen here and I will stop the recording.